Clyde to target on that black plate behind the telescope, and then what we're looking for is for him to move slowly, and that's the key, to slowly move the telescope into the position that we're looking for. Now folks, we do of course use fish to reward the animals when they're doing well, but we use a variety of types of reward, and I challenge you to watch for all the different ways that we reward or reinforce the animals when they're doing well. It's going to target on that plate.
Sí, la casi me lo comenté en sí, como que igual que hay varias razas. Yo creo que mira, tiene.
Okay, now if you guys are up close, and I'm speaking quietly because I don't want to interfere, we use our voices as a means of communication with the animals. The pinnipeds, the seals, the sea lions, the walruses, we use our voices to communicate with them, as well as hand and body signals. Now, Tim here is speaking very clearly to Clark. He's asking him to do this behavior. Again, the challenging part is to move the telescope slowly. Clyde is very new at this. Tim's doing a great job teaching him that behavior, and if you listen carefully throughout this presentation, you'll hear several of the trainers use the word okay. That communicates to the animal that they're doing exactly what we're asking them to do. They can stop, and then they look to us for some sort of reward or reinforcement. You notice Tim gave Clyde there a little rub down, a little back rub. It's one of his favorite ways to reward the animals. It's actually one of mine as well. It actually gives us an opportunity to spend time with the animal one-on-one so that the animal learns to recognize us. They recognize us as something positive, and that's what allows us to do what we do with all of the amazing animals here at SeaWorld. Let's hear it for Tim and Clyde, everybody. Great job. Now I'm going to let you in on a little SeaWorld secret. We do have several animals that play the role of Clyde, and we have several animals that play the role of Seamore. And again, Clyde here, this particular animal, his name is Clark, but he plays the role of Clyde. Hopefully next time you guys come back to see the show, you'll be able to recognize that Clark has learned that segment of the show, and he's doing it for you guys each and every day. Now, we can't have Clyde without Seamore, right? Here he comes. Let's say hello to Seamore. Great job, everybody. This is Seamore. This is Josh, and that is Rebecca out there. These are both trainers here. That's right. Seamore wants to say hi. Now, Seamore shows up at school. Seamore's sort of the whiz kid of Sea Lion High, and he invents his very own solar-powered golf cart. Now, it's thankfully not really solar-powered because on a day like today, it wouldn't be working at all, would it? No, it wouldn't. So it's a little bit of SeaWorld magic there for you. But he enters on the golf cart and he sort of takes over the science part of the segment. Again, folks, one of the most creative and challenging parts of our job with the animals as animal trainers is to always come up with new ways, exciting ways to reinforce and reward the animals. Now, a lot of times that includes being in the water with them. Now, actually, this is more so their environment. So what we've done as animal trainers is we have a very structured water work, what we call water work program. Part of that is being variable in the water. It's not always about learning new behaviors in the water. Sometimes it's playing with us in the water, and sometimes it's relating with us in the water. And that's exactly what Josh is working. Now this animal who is playing the role of Seamore, his name is Rewind. Rewind and Clark, the animal that you met playing Clyde, both, I want to make sure I point this out, both of these animals were born right next door at Pacific Point Preserve. In fact, all of the sea lions that you see here at Sea Lion High were born throughout our SeaWorld parks, and we are very proud of that. So again, Josh is working a little bit of what we call waterwork control and a relationship session with Rewind in the water. Rewind's sort of a workhorse. He plays the role of Clyde, or Seamore, very well. Seamore's sort of the star student, and he plays the role very well because he's always wanting to do the next behavior. Rewind's always wanting to go on to the next behavior. He kind of has that disposition where he's like, what do I do next? What do I do next? What are you asking me to do next? And what we work with Rewind, as well as all of the animals, is the opportunity for them to kind of just slow down. We want to make sure that we can just hang out with these animals so that he's not always doing a behavior, and that's exactly what you're seeing now. Josh is giving him that hand target, which we present our hand to the animal. They learn to touch their mouth or muzzle area to our hand, and that kind of gives us the ability to drive their movement. As you can see, he's just watching him very closely. All of the animals here at SeaWorld, the whales, the dolphins, the sea lions, the otters, the walruses, all of them are also trained on maintaining very controlled eye contact. It's very important that we're watching them and they are watching us. We're constantly communicating with them with our voices, with our hand signals, with our body signals, as well as any kind of body language or eye contact that we condition or train these animals to follow. Well done. Let's hear it for Seamore, or Rewind, and Clark. I'm sorry, Josh. Clark's the sea lion. Great job, guys. Great job. Okay, so you've met the two stars of the show. You've met Clyde and Seamore. Now, there is one little guy who sort of plays the role of the maintenance man of the school. He's a little bit smaller and a lot more mischievous. And his name is Opie Otter. And you will see Opie Otter if you guys get back to the show and you kind of see the role that he plays in the show. He's sort of the troublemaker of the show. But it's a lot of fun working with these animals. The behavior that we're working right now is called a litter bug. And that is where we kind of discard that can, and we all know that it's not a good thing to do that. It's not good to pollute. And we want to make sure that we communicate to all of you, our guests, especially the kids, that even the troublemaker knows that you don't pollute and you got to clean up after yourselves. Right, Mom and Dad? Yeah, I didn't really get much of a response from that. That's okay. Good point. Good point. Now, in this segment of the show, normally there is no one on stage. These are called distal behaviors. It's where the trainer is actually backstage, out of sight of the animals, and the animal is able to come out on stage and actually interact this behavior on his own. So that's what we're going to look for right now. Now, again, playing Opie Otter, this is Rebel, and Rebel was also born right here at SeaWorld, and he's learning this role, and he's doing a great job. But you're going to see in just a minute. I'm clear whenever you guys are ready. We're watching that center curtain for Opie Otter to make his appearance.
Wow, that's cool. Unbelievable. How careless can you be? Honestly.
Your recycling can was just over here. He passed right by it. You know how much of this stuff ends up in the
And recycle! That's pretty impressive. See, kids, even the little troublemaker, mischievous guy knows that you don't pollute, you make sure that you recycle. We're a green planet, we're a green park here at SeaWorld. Again, folks, that character's name is Opie Otter. The particular animal, his name is Rebel, and I think Rebecca's going to make her way back out here on stage and give you guys a little bit a longer opportunity to see him and see us interact with him. Most of the otter behaviors that we see in the show happen very quickly. These animals are very fast. And again, they kind of enter and exit on and off stage very quickly. So what we look for is an opportunity to share the story and the animals with you. So we're going to come back out here. Actually, we've switched animals. This is not Rebel. This is Mojo. There you go. Good job, Mojo. And with Mojo is Brendan. Brendan has been working with Mojo for several years. Mojo, I'm going to tell you, is kind of the grandpa otter. He's been at SeaWorld. He was born here in our park, and he's been at SeaWorld for several years. As you can see, I don't know if you've noticed, but he's a little bit larger. He's a little bit more rotund than the little guy that was just out here. This is sort of grandpa otter, and he's great. He's been doing shows for several years, and he also does some interactions with our park guests from time to time as well. So Mojo has been trained to respond to us, again, based on positive reinforcement. We are able to use our relationship to share Mojo and Mojo's story with park guests, which is a really important part of our job. There you go. Great job, Mojo. Thanks, Brendan. Appreciate it, Grandpa. Now, don't get me wrong, I call him Grandpa Otter, but Mojo is having no problem at all keeping up with these little otters that run around and cause a lot of trouble. Now, speaking of a little bit larger animal, you know, before we move on to that, I want to let let you know, this has been obviously a very different show than we normally do. Make sure you guys check your park maps. We're hoping that our RT department and Jessica up in the booth get things rolling so that we can do a full show at 6:30. So if you are able to make it back, the show is great. It really is, folks. As an animal trainer here at SeaWorld, I've been working with the animals here for 20 years, and this is a very unique show. We have had the opportunity to work very closely with our entertainment department as well as our animal teams, and we've really put a great show together. With this show, we've introduced a lot of water special effects, which are not currently working. However, when they do work, they're really exciting. It's something we've never done before, so when you guys make it back, we really appreciate you guys coming out here and giving us an opportunity to give you a little bit behind the scenes of how we do things with the animals, to talk about the animals here at SeaWorld, because folks, any employee here at the park will tell you the animals come first. Always have, always will. Now, like I said, we do have one more cast member, part of the student body, that we'd like to introduce you to. We're going to sort of wrap up this presentation with a little bit of a party, a little celebration that you guys have been able to share with us and we've been able to share with you. Again, a little bit larger, we'd like to introduce Sir Winston Walrus, also known as the Super Duper Intendant of Schools. Here at SeaWorld. We hope you guys can make it back at 6:30.